Number ones, number ones. We're going to talk about the number one people today. People born on the 1st, the 10th, the 19th of a month. Um, oh, yeah. Yeah, the 1st, 10th, and 19th of the month. I'm sorry, I just thought of something that I left out in another video because I'm just going off the top of my head. But that's okay. As we roll along and as we continue in videos, more information comes back to me in memory, and I'm just like, oh, or things come through me through, divine intervention. um, and just DNA and all kind of stuff. Um, and I will share what I can. But in terms of people born under the personality number of the one vibration, or people who may have a one life path, or people who may have one in certain capacities of who they are, numerologically, this pertains to you. One is also connected with the Aries energy, Aries being the ruler of the first house astrologically. The higher vibrations of the ones are initiators. They get shit done. When they have a goal or they seek to do something, they are very actionary minded, very quick on their feet, actionary minded, quick to think, quick to respond, quick to move, very fast. Um, the ones don't waste no time a lot of times when they're functioning on the higher frequency of their number. In addition to all of that, number ones have the ability to motivate themselves. They, because they're so actionary, they tend to be the first to do things a lot. And when you're the first to do things, it comes with a heavy weight depending on what you're the first to do. It makes you kind of what I like to call a trendsetter. You're the first to do things, the first person to do that. These are the people that can somehow, sometimes create history. But on the flip side of that, it's a lonely place because everybody's not up on it yet. Number ones are the type of people, if you have a friend that's a number one or you know anybody that's a number one, they'll put you on the game about stuff quickly before anybody else catches on a lot of times. They'll be the first to catch on to a lot of things. They're visionaries. They see things and they're very quick on their feet. Actionary, not reactionary so much on their higher vibration. They are able to self motivate. They are able to, if one is a fire number, so it's a feisty energy. It's a blunt energy. They can be very blunt with their words. And they speak so fast. Not fast necessarily always in speed, but their mind and everything moves so fucking fast. It's like, and sometimes they don't think before they say things. Sometimes they, have a tendency to just speak without filter, almost like children, because children speak without filter. Children don't think about how what they say usually is going to affect other people unless they're a lot of times taught to be that way. They just express how they feel. If you stink, a child gonna tell you stink. You stink. They're not gonna think to say, oh well, maybe I shouldn't tell them that. Um, so it's a very feisty energy. They can be very self-absorbed, very self-centered on their lower frequency. Um, but they're avid readers. They love to read. And they love to do things on their own. They don't like to be told what to do. Something interesting that I found with a lot of number ones, you can't always give a number one person advice. or your opinion if they don't want it. I say that because they take a lot of things. They don't want to be controlled. They have control issues a lot of times on their lower frequency. They don't want to be contained and controlled. They have to, it's like fire. Fire needs air to breathe. It's a fire number. So they need the room to express themselves, not always verbally, but express themselves however they want to and need to express themselves. Whether it's in the style of their dressing and their clothes. The first person to probably wear a freaking certain type of sneaker was probably an Aries or a fire sign or a fire number, like number one, probably a number one. They have to express themselves in some form or fashion. They need that room to do that. And they're loners, so they need their alone time to create because they have the ability to create original things that no one else has created because the way their mind works and they're quick thinking. They need that room to express. They can be they can come across very harsh with their words, like I mentioned before. One people also, this is what I was going into about the advice. They don't like to take advice from just anybody. If they respect you in some capacity, they don't mind taking advice from you. They don't. A lot of times they ain't gonna take advice from you because telling them something or advice or an opinion in their mind sometimes translates as you're telling me what to do. And they don't want to lose control, so they'll react with words or however they react. Sometimes if they've been through different traumas, they tend to make things up in their head. Force can kind of do that to make things up in their head. And you be like, what is the problem? Like, what is the problem? What is going on with you? Yeah, because I know when you said this, and I feel like you said this, and you meant this, and you like, what the hell? It wasn't even that deep. But that's the lower frequency of the number one. The great thing about the number ones is because they're initiators and they're the first to do things, they can bring about change. They can bring about change um, with things that are mundane. They'll switch things around. If everything is um, black and white, not skin color, I'm just talking about if everything was just black and white, they'll be the ones to bring in the color TV. You know what I mean? They'll be the ones to do something different because they don't like to be contained in the mundane and the same things over and over and over. Routine gets on their damn nerve after a while. They have to switch it up. They have to be spontaneous. They have to express. So that's a very interesting thing. Um, and it's a very powerful thing. It's a very powerful position because they naturally have leadership qualities. Because they're trendsetters, a lot of people like to follow them. A lot of people like to um, copy them. So it's important for number one, people to embrace their own style and originality because it's a part of who they are. But they also have to protect what they do because it's going to be often imitated or copied a lot of times. Um, Number ones tend to have, in the health aspect, issues with their eyesight. It is very important for them to take care of their eyes. And if you are a number 11, even though that's a two vibration, it's a two comprised of two ones. So I believe that number ones they have to take care of their eyes physically, but they also have to be mindful of their perception of things. Because sometimes they can have tunnel vision and not see the whole perspective of something. Sometimes they focus, just like the fours, too much on individual details and not the bigger picture, the whole perspective on things. And number 11s, not going to go too much into the number 11s because this video is really about the number ones. But the number 11s is comprised of two ones. So they tend to see two sides of a coin and have to be mindful of the deception of things because of the way, because it's a double repeated number, and one deals with vision. It's how you see things, your perception also. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Peace. I'm doing a whole lot of videos tonight, so you're going to see me in the same gear with a lot of numbers. Y'all be all right, though. Peace.